So welcome everyone, it's 18th of February 2023. Hello from Raipur?
Raipur.
Chhattisgarh.
Raipur Prem Sangham.
Raipur Prem Sangham. So we had this spontaneous session, we were not planning for it. But here we are. Alright. So, it seems the topic of my marriage is a good joke and I also enjoy that. So, why do we celebrate MahaShivRatri? Yes?
Marriage of Lord Shiva.
Marriage of
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva
And Parvati.
and
Yogi. He had taught yoga to 7 rishis.
that is the Guru Purnima thing. He gave the transmission on that day. The first Guru Adi Yoga. MahaShivRatri. Why do we celebrate MahaShivRatri? There are many kinds of Shivratris actually throughout the year. This one is MahaShivRatri. This one is special. Some say that this is the most powerful time of the year.
This is the day whenever the Shivalingam was in front of Vishnuji and Brahmaji, na?
Yes.
They saw the Shivalingam first time.
Absolutely.
It is the origin of Shivalingam.
Yes, the day when Shivlingam was seen in a form.
Yeah.
She was seen in a form. Like an infinite pillar of light.
Infinite pillar of light in front
With-
of Vishnuji and Brahmaji.
And Brahmaji, where there was no end and no beginning. Shiva. And what is the meaning of Shiva? Ekonkar and there's no meaning to Shiva. That is the good news.
जैसे हमारे सिखिज्म में होता है एक ओमकार, लाइक शिव में भी ओम से स्टार्ट होता है एंड एक ही ओमकार उसमें भी ओम आता है एक ओमकार दैट इज व्हाई वी रिलेटेड एक ओमकार टू शिव जी.
Okay. Ekonkar, the word.
द वर्ड
The word.
उसमें भी ओम ही आता है एक ओमकार ओम वर्ड उसमें भी आता है दैट इज आल्सो रिलेटेड विद लॉर्ड शिवा ओम.
Absolutely. Om is made of 3 sounds.
Aum.
Ah, Om, Right? So how many of you, when you meditate deeply, sometimes you hear that sound? Anyone heard that?
Yes.
Right? And sometimes it's like a continuous sound. It doesn't seem like having a beginning and having an end at the same time. Just like the story of the pillar of Shiva, where there was no end and no beginning. Right?
Sometimes I hear that the whistle when I breathe, like during meditation, I can hear the whistle like breathing.
Yes, yes.
It's
High pitched
sort of a
frequency.
high pitched frequency.
Like that model that we used to have way before.
Today I saw a sphere when we were chanting, doing bhajans now. When we were sitting, I saw a sphere, but it did not have any end. Again, it was a sphere, but it had extensions, like pillar you are saying.
Where did you see that?
Today when we were chanting, we were doing the bhajans that time. But I was thinking that sphere, it will complete itself, but it didn't complete.
Yeah, the sphere is complete in itself and also incomprehensible. Sphere is the beginning of various forms in the universe, including our own universe. When you study science, astrophysics, and all of that, so sphere is a universal phenomenon. It's not technically Shivlingam. If you actually go to Shivlingam, does it look like a male counterpart? No, doesn't look like that. It's a sphere. When you see auras, it's a sphere, right? Scientists suggest that even the shape of the universe is in the sphere-like. So we are recognizing that spherical structure, the power of the spherical structure.
Symbol of infinity.
In a way, limitation and infinity both you can say, both at the same time. So why do we celebrate MahaShivRatri? It's the first day of when the Shivlingam was introduced as a pillar of light, and also the marriage of Lord Shiva and and Ma Parvati. Okay. So the legend says that Lord Shiva was a renunciate for several millions of years. He was just meditating and meditating and meditating. Right. So in order to the word socialize is not correct. In order to, why he was asked to get married? Any ideas?
To ground.
Also to kill, I think, some demon.
Yes,
it was
yes.
like-
To create an offspring and to create
Yeah.
and to kill certain
Certain.
people who had the boons of getting killed by the son of Lord
Yes,
Shiva.
Son of Lord Shiva.
Yeah. So this great night is celebrated as the marriage of Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati. Have you noticed that in the legends, Ma Parvati tends to have many incarnations? She is not less than powerful Lord Shiva. She is Shiva. Shiva is her anyway. The Ardhanarishwar form that we know. But you must have noticed that she is taking so many incarnations, doing so much of tapas to get to Lord Shiva. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Huh? Isn't that a partiality? Shouldn't that be the other way around at times? Right? So, Ma Parvati, she represents the Shakti, she represents the matter, she represents the vibration. Ma Parvati represents the vibration. She is the very cause of vibration. Our bodies are nothing but vibration. The thoughts are nothing but vibration. This building is nothing but vibration. This recording is nothing but vibration.
Fundamental part.
Fundamental, it's happening everywhere. So anything that is moving, anything that is vibrating, it tends to create sound. So when you go deeper into meditation, you are able to hear different kinds of celestial sounds. When you further go deeper into aligning your mind, keeping your mind calm, you can also hear people telepathically. You know, that someone is asking for this, someone is asking for that, kind of thing. And you just take a deep breath. Deep breath again. Alright, so Ma Parvati represents the vibration, the dancing aspect, the up and down, round and round, the so-called drama of life. Hello? The so-called drama of life, all feminine principles. Right? Shiva is the silent standby principle. So, when this calmness or the silence principle meets the principle of vibration, when the silence principle meets the principle of vibration, then creation happens. That is Mahashivratri. That is always happening. These are the absolute yin and absolute yang. Mahaparvati represents absolute feminine energy. Right? So feminine energies represent what? Matter, money, decorations, jewelry, drama, and matter and receiving aspect, the negative aspect, receiving aspect, and emotions, feelings, and
Compassion.
Nurturing.
nurturing, decoration, and
Nutrition.
nutrition,
Compassion.
compassion,
Family.
the ability to lead family. Male is more about ability to protect the family, and she's more about leading the family. And receiving. You know, you might have heard that quote that when two people talk, they're not actually talking. They're just waiting for their turn to speak. They're not even listening to what the other person is saying. Haven't you noticed that when we get into a righteousness, I'm right and you're wrong, and what happens with you? You're not wanting to listen to this. This happened, that happened. You're not willing to listen to their viewpoint. Right? So listening is a capacity. That's feminine principle. And what else?
Unconditional
Ah.
love.
Love encompasses both Shiva and Shakti. Love, if you define as an emotion, as a feeling, so that is definitely Shakti energy, that's the feminine principle. But love as an unconditional, pure love, you are taking that. So it represents both, absolute yin. and
Acceptance.
acceptance, the ability to receive, the ability to accept. And Shiva represents what? The silent observing principle, the silence principle. Imagine if there is a lot of noise, a lot of horns, a lot of drums playing all along. Would it make you happy? Yes, no?
No.
No? Imagine if there are many drums, many horns, so much of noise, cacophony kind of going on. Would it make you happy?
No.
Imagine if there is absolute silence. Can you expect music?
No.
No. Imagine if there is silence and then there is this rhythm of the horns and the drums and everything. Now, will that create music?
Yes.
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 Organized, orchestrated properly?
Yes.
So it is said that in the night of MahaShivRatri, these both divine couples, they did a wonderful dance. So the dance of Lord Shiva is known as what? Tandav. Tandav. And the dance of Ma Parvati is known as?
Bhairavi.
Bhairavi is a rag. Is one of the forms. The dance of Ma Parvati is known as Lasya. Lasya. Tandav and Lasya. So when Tandav and Lasya combined, that became Tala.
Thala. Tala.
When Tandav and Lasya combined, that became Tal. And that Tal was music and harmony. So music and harmony is throughout the creation. Lord, bring harmony into my nation. That is a kind of music. Are you in sound health? We never say, are you in cacophony health? Are you in unsound health? Are you sound? Are you of sound mind? Are you of having sound health? So, Tandav of Lord Shiva and the Lasya of Ma Parvati together combined, that made the Tal, the music, the harmony. Okay. So, this night is the celebration of these two major principles, as they say, somewhere back in time, when they merged together, that created the entire creation. Okay? Okay, Ian? So, everything is vibration, that means everything is creating a sound. And if everything is creating a sound, that means it has a potential to create music. And also the potential to create disharmony. Right? So that happens in all spheres of our life. Be it finances, be it health, be it relationships, or whatever. As we grow in a spiritual path, as we realize more of our soul nature, that absolute balance of yin-yang, genderless yin-yang, the Ardhanarishwar within, so to speak, the soul is genderless. It is not masculine, it is not feminine. It might have the quality, but it is absolutely perfect. It is the part of that creator. It's like if you divide infinity by 1, what you will get? Infinity. If you divide infinity by 1, what you will get? According to the same logic, God is infinite. The soul is part of God. Divide by 1. What do you get? Infinity. So, the harmony happens within the sadhak's life, within the seeker's life, when you are able to have Lord Shiva and Ma Parvati married within. We all have Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva within. Right? For example, there is a very interesting belief that goes like, with the energy of, with the topic of expectation. So usually people say, so-called awakened people usually say, I don't expect anything now. I have stopped expecting even from my parents and this and that, my near and dear ones. That is one extreme. Another extreme is what? I'm expecting so much, I did this for them, did that for them, they did not give me back something. Okay? Right? Both are extremes. But so-called awakened people say, I don't expect anyone, I'm very happy. But somewhere they are deep down hurting. In life, can you go without expectation? Can you?
No.
When you're driving a car, you put your feet on the pedal of the accelerator. You're expecting the car. So the fundamental force of expectation is already with the car as well. It's not your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend that you're running an issue with. It's already there. So the force of expectation is very neutral, just like the force of money. or the force of sexuality. It's very neutral. It's just that we tend to think of it in certain ways, expect it in certain ways, and when it doesn't, it doesn't manifest, we end up with resistance. Okay? So, Tal, harmony. Most of us start the spiritual path in order to find harmony and health, sound health. You want to have sound health, most of us?
Yes.
Right? Most of us for physical healing and psychological healing, then we continue on it, then we break the meditation schedule as well, and then we go back again. The process is continuous, right? It's a continuous process. And as we open more and more, we realize other areas of our life also start to settle down. Relationships, people, family, finances. That also happens automatically. You don't do anything about it. Because you're coming in sound harmony, you're coming in sound health. So we each have the inner divine masculine and the inner divine feminine. We each have inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine. The point is to bring them in harmony. Let them dance together, get them married together. Okay? There's a wonderful scripture, Shastra, I think it's called as Vigyan Bhairava Tantra, something like that. So it is a tantric text. I think it talks about 112 methods of achieving enlightenment, 112 techniques. So in that text, it is said that Lord Shiva is giving knowledge to Ma Parvati, and then there are some incidences where Ma Parvati is also giving knowledge to Lord Shiva. It's not a one-way route. So until and unless we have the two-way routes open within ourselves, the masculine and the feminine, giving and the receiving, breathing in, breathing out, we cannot have harmony. Forget about harmony in the physical marriage. First at least manifest this. Right? So when you manifest this harmony, you are able to create or activate or invoke the archetypes of Lord Ganesha, right, and Kumar Kartikeya and so many others. And so these are able to kill the so-called demons which are also inside us. Hello? For example, you might have heard about the example of Rakta Bij. Rakta Bij was a very powerful demon, like a virus. So you just cut him and droplets would fall and more of him would be created. Right? Did you hear about it or not?
Yes.
Right? So do you know what is Rakta Bij within us that is causing a havoc?
Ek desire, complete
Yes.
decision.
Attachment to desire. Clap for her. Attachment to desire. So when you are very attached to a desire, and when one fulfills, another one goes on, another one goes on, another one goes on. So you keep going after it, and you will havoc all the time. Right? Mental peace is gone. You might be living in a golden palace. You might want to have now diamond palace. Right? And for that you do so many things. So desire. Attachment to the desire. Desire in itself is very innocent, you know. We were talking about the topic of innocence before the call. Desire is very innocent. It is by the virtue of desire that the entire creation was created. Someone had to desire some supreme being, some supreme power to desire, had to wish, Eko ham bahusyam. I am one, let the one be many. Okay? So the desire itself is very neutral. It is not bad. Problem happens when we are attached to it. Problem happens when you are attached to it. Just to give you a fun example, women are usually still, especially eastern parts of the world, considered to provide food for the family, okay? Cook something nice. So your desire would be as a husband could be, my wife will always give me good tasty food. That's your desire. Someday your wife is not in a good mood. Whatever. Or maybe he's lost somewhere, maybe he's processing her own grief. Maybe one day there was a bit of too much salt, maybe less of salt, maybe too much spice or whatever. The taste was not in harmony according to you, in sound according to you. Right? So maybe you have a fight over it. what happens? Will it create sound and harmony, or will it create cacophony in the home?
Disharmony.
Huh?
Disharmony.
Disharmony, right? It will cause disharmony. And something else happens, someone said something out of anger, but they didn't mean it. Further, the story continues, the legend continues. Right? And now, if the husband starts to gain wisdom and understand, okay, sometimes it might happen. I can order through a food delivery. Maybe I also learn to cook something, maybe something like a khichdi, a simple congee kind of dish. And they eat again in that calm and peaceful state. Will that create sound harmony, or will that create cacophony? Harmony.
Harmony.
Right? Now I've forgotten why I was giving this example. Tell me more what I was saying before this example. Anyone?
Desire.
Yeah, desire and attachment to desire. Thank you. Because I'm trying to channel and bring all the information. So, desire is my wife will give me nice, tasty food all the time. Attachment to desire is because she did not make good food for me, she doesn't love me, and I am supposed to be angry at her. So attachment to desire causes a problem. Desire itself is very neutral. It's very fine to have desire. I want to have this kind of body. I want to experience this kind of intimate life. I want to make this kind of money. Problem happens when you're attached to it. When you're basically attaching your happiness to that. It could be a person, it could be a title, it could be a situation. Anything. You know? If you remember, by the way, tell me, we all have experienced some level of fulfillment of a desire in our life. A lot of them, right? Material, a lot of them, right? I want to have so much cash here, there, etc., whatever. Now, when it got fulfilled, some of us were not even aware of it that it got fulfilled. Agree or not?
Yes.
Right? And now when we look back at it like, 20 years back now, I used to be like that. So it might be a freelancer doing a one-on-one session, and the person might say, 20 years back now, my desire was that my clients would pay me 500 INR per session. That might have been desire. Now maybe you are earning 5,000 an hour, maybe 10,000 an hour. But that desire was there, it got fulfilled. Now when you look back at it, it doesn't make much excitement to you, right? You might get promotion when you're working in a company, you get a promotion, you enjoy it, but the desire continues on, right? So, hence proved that the fulfillment of the desire is not the cause of contentment or satisfaction in life. Hello?
Yes.
Yes? So where does satisfaction will come from? You can try to read so many Vedas and so many scriptures and try to do so much of inner work and journaling, or you can just tap into two basic forces of nature. That is Ta and Love. Ta, love and Nasya. You just tap into the masculine and feminine forces. You ask yourself, how do I bring this into harmony? I'm having issues in business, how do I bring harmony here? I'm having issues with my wife or husband, how do I bring in harmony? I'm having issues with my health, how do I bring? I'm having lack of experience of oneness with God, how do I bring it in harmony? When you just pull in these two basic fundamental vibrations, you will have your MahaShivRatri, Om Namah Shivaya. The very root of the 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 root, all the way to the seed of creation. Hello? Vibration.
The Shiv Ji ke तांडव में हमें लस्य लाना.
Yes. Yes.
लस्य का वाला डांस करना I mean.
Yeah, that harmony, right?
That harmony.
So, that MahaShivRatri is possible within us. Okay? So that's why we celebrate MahaShivRatri, to remind ourselves that in life all we have to focus on is the two basic forces of nature, the yin and the yang, the cosmic yin and the yang. So whatever problem life might put here, I am going to ask myself what kind of forces needs more yang, more yin. Maybe yin needs to keep quiet and listen to yang, maybe yang needs to keep quiet and listen. Maybe both need to keep quiet and have a break. Something like that, right? So this is MahaShivRatri. You are the reflection of the universe. Okay. In the Hermetic principle, they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. As above, so below, as within, so without. Okay. So we are not living in a very neutral, heartless creation or universe. We are part of that living creation, but we don't know. We do not have the ability to comprehend how alive the universe is. When we practice things like meditation, affirmation, things like that, and we realize, oh, I was thinking about this. This has happened. So we realize, okay, someone is out there listening to me. Right? Even on the small little desires. For example, when I came here, from past few weeks I was having a casual desire of having this sugar cane juice, but I was not able to. And I just came, it was on my hand. Right? So I went, okay, I'm just thinking about it, just came. So this will happen more with you. When you are more in harmony with the universe through the virtue of sadhana, virtue of seva, virtue of satsang, when you are in a very harmonious state, aura-wise, chakra-wise, so even your tiniest of the tiny desires will be fulfilled. And I mean all of that. Okay? Paramahamsa Yogananda used to say that one of the reasons why God provides you with the fulfillment of desires is also to test you. Do you want the gifts or do you want the lover behind the gifts? Hello? Do you want the gifts or do you want the lover, the provider behind the gifts? What do you want?
Lover.
That would be a better profitable. We're still thinking about profit here, right? And that's the nature, that's fine. Nothing guilty about it. So it's much more smarter to seek the beloved rather than what the beloved can give you. So the beloved is going to test you a lot with all these things and so-called little siddhis as we call it. Right? The spiritual powers. But that focus has to be always there. The beloved. I think it's like a continuation of previous Valentine session, I think. We talked about, those of you who are listening to this right now, I recommend you to see the YouTube, what do you call that, gallery of this channel. Look for the Valentine session 1 and 2. So I think that you would grasp more after that. I think this is already a continuation of that. There was love and now there's marriage. Love marriage. The creation's first love marriage. That was Parvati and Lord Shiva. Creation's first love marriage. So, Ma Parvati is known to incarnate many times. Why? Because she represents the matter aspect, the cycling aspect, the cycle. Right? And Lord Shiva is like the silence behind all of that, the watcher of that. Essentially, there is no need for marriage of Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva either. They are anyway one. It appears to be different. So when you go deeper in understanding, you realize that masculine is not different from the feminine, and the feminine is not different from the masculine. How many of you have seen? I think they talk a lot about the wildlife. They talk about this phenomenon called as a mama bear. When the mother bear is wanting to protect her children, she can be extremely violent, although it's not in her nature. That's like the archetype with even mothers as well. If they find the kid is in some kind of danger, they can literally do anything. And I mean anything. Right? And with fathers sometimes, they say, when the father holds the 1-day-old baby, he's extremely gentle, right? And has a mother-like touch. Doctors even suggest, researchers suggest that when the baby is born, the baby should touch the skin of the mother and after some time the skin of the father as well. Right from the hour of birth. That creates some kind of resonance connection with the baby. Right? So, to be compassionate is not the so-called duty of the feminine. To be powerful is not the only duty of the so-called masculine. They each can throw the balls of compassion and power and exchange it. The yin yang. Okay? The entire journey of soul evolution is coming into harmony with the yin and yang forces. Are we okay here? Take a deep breath. So yin is about flexibility, fluidity. Yang is about the structure. So we might be having structure and legal laws and rules in our own home, in our country, in our state. But then there is some kind of flexibility or loopholes as you call it. Right? That's yin. If there's only structure, the structure will crumble. It will have rust crumble down. But if there is only flow and all the time moving around, there won't be any substance to it, no grounding to it. Right? It will just waste away itself, going in all directions. Right? Hello? Why are you looking so sad, all of you? So, the essence of MahaShivRatri is to come into harmony with the yin and the yang within, and that is already happening within. This Shakti is within ourselves, whether you are a man or a woman. This Shiva is within, whether you are a man or a woman. Right? So that is MahaShivRatri, the night of the great union of the two cosmic forces, the very fundamental forces of creation. Okay? Now we understand?
Yes.
Marriage of silence and vibration.
Yes! Clap for him.
Repeat करेगा भैया?
Marriage of silence and vibration.
ये last की word नहीं सुना था.
Marriage of silence and vibration. So without silence you can't have music. Without silence you can't have music. And without vibration you also cannot have music. The thing is to get to the music, the harmony of it. Again, if you understand music, going beyond music is more about harmony. Have you heard classical music of different countries? It kind of, especially in the Indian country, it gives you some sort of alignment. Have you noticed that? There's a different ragas for evening and morning and eating and all of that. It gives you, it has very unique property to it. So we are trying to find that harmony. What is the principle of homeopathy? Harmony principle?
Similar.
Yes, yes.
It is similar, similibus curator means when there is a vibration. Similar vibration which is a bit higher than that, it comes and it collapses the original one, and because this is produced artificially, this also collapses. So that collapse of wave creates a new rhythm which is health.
Yes. A new rhythm, that is health, that is harmony. Right? So we are trying to find homeostasis. A new homeostasis maybe. Not just homeostasis, new homeostasis. Because it has its own baseline to it. So, in life we are trying to find this harmony. If you meditate about, if you contemplate about some problems in your life, anything, you're essentially trying to find harmony, isn't it? Whether you're trying to master stock markets, whether you're trying to master your sales pitch, whether you're trying to master whatever you've learned or driving or anything, you're trying to find that harmony. Okay? Now let us understand what is harmony. People often confuse balance with harmony. Balance and harmony are two different things. Balance is like the seesaw. Someone is sitting there, you balance it. And there's a measuring scale, what do you call that? तराजू क्या? तराजू क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Weighing scale, right? That is the act of balancing. Okay, that is the act of balancing. It is like if you study a bit about criminal psychology, they talk about playing the good cop and the bad cop. What does it mean? Is when the person comes and they're under inquiry, there are two cops, so the first cop becomes very bad, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this illegal thing on you and you will have to give me the entire story and all that. Literally acts like the enemy of the person and acts like that consciously. The other guy acts as a good guy and he makes sure that he is under his support and he tells nice things about him, you know. So just to make sure. So they are trying the two tactics. Maybe through fear he will reach the story, or maybe by coming into one's comfort zone. Right? Now I've forgotten why I was using it. What I was saying before this?
Rhythm.
Yes, balance and
Harmony and balance.
So this was balance. Trying to use the forces of balance. Okay. Now what is harmony?
Harmony means you create the similar frequency with the other so that resonance is created.
Yeah, that is resonance. But again, what is harmony?
Harmony means matching up two similar frequency, and whenever there is a two similar frequency, resonance will be there.
When you
Vibrating at the same vibration. is harmony.
Vibrating at the same vibration.
Yes.
Is it not resonance?
Yes, if you have X vibration, when I will create X vibration, resonance will be there. 100%.
Yeah. So that is exactly more of resonance. Again, the question is what is harmony?
When you are at ease, even many things are going against you or not according to your wish.
Mhm.
But in spite of that, there is no chaos in it yourself.
Mhm.
You are in a state of ease.
You're talking about inner harmony.
So inner
Yeah.
harmony.
Yeah, you're talking about inner harmony. Although the outer harmony is not there, but you're talking about inner harmony. What's the word they use in Bhagavad Gita? Siddha Prajna. Siddha Prajna.
Neutrality.
And what is harmony?
Just be as of the need, that need of everything, and you become so matching with the need always in every form. Synchronicity.
Synchronicity, harmony can be said as one word. Harmony is more popular. Yes, you're pretty much correct. And
Harmony is flow.
yes, it is flow.
So rhythmic.
It is rhythmic. It has a resonance. And
It is melodious.
harmony can be melodious. Yes, it automatically becomes melodious. You don't have to try.
Matching with each other's demand.
People pleasing, you mean?
It is the rhythm of universe, rhythm of life.
That flow of life.
Flow of life.
Harmony is the ability of the soul or the soul to be able to interact with the world without getting disturbed, and also having power to influence the outside world. You might want to note this down or bit up and anyway, it's good that we're recording. So you are having inner rhythm as well as the ability to influence the outside. That is harmony. And when you are more in harmony, you are more in what? Power. Hello?
Yes.
So we are revealing some political secrets here. How to be a leader. Right? So when you achieve this harmony, you are able to have an impact on the outside world as well. Your relationships, your finances, your health, and all of that. Okay? So that's called as harmony. So harmony includes everything. The interesting thing about harmony is that it includes everything. It will include everything. It includes everything. It does not put anything outside. That's why in tantric situation they call it tantric. They do not say that anything is bad. In the yogic tradition they have this thing. Jivatma merges with the Atma, Atma merges with the Paramatma. But when you start a tantric pathway, which is very risky and it should be done under the guidance of a realized master, he says, you are already that. Worship yourself. Blasphemy. Worship your wife as a goddess. Worship your husband as a god. Have you heard about the mother of Dattatreya? You know about the story of Dattatreya? Have you heard about the mother of Dattatreya? Sati Ansuya? You heard about her? Sati Ansuya was a very powerful sage. Her husband was Maharshi Atri. Okay, Rishi Atri. Her spiritual influence was so much that in the three worlds of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, Shivlok, Vishnulok and Brahmalok, it was known that she is a very pious and very powerful person. So the story goes that even Ma Lakshmi, Ma Saraswati and Ma Parvati got insecure. And she was a mere human. Hello? So they wanted to test her. So they said, why she has so much of power? She's just doing the daily chores of home and serving her husband when he's meditating and making sure of his meals and all of the household stuff. What is she doing? So Narada Rishi said that she's a sati. absolutely dedicated to the husband. Okay, and she thinks of her husband as the god or as Parabrahma. So she was in a way applying the tantric principles there. Now we're revealing something very explosive outside. This is not for common people, but anyway, so the story goes that these three goddesses actually had trouble, and these three talked with each other and were like, who is this lady? Just a mere mortal. How can she have a glory more than us? We are Lakshmi, Saraswati, and the basic three. How is that possible? So they asked their husbands to test the goddess. Now the husbands definitely said that we should not take risk. She is a sati and she even has power over us as well. Even Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So they said okay. So they went to the ashram, and now there's a particular term for giving a particular kind of bhiksha. Bhiksha means you give some food, maybe money, some grains, some cooked food to the sage who comes at your doorstep. That's called as bhiksha. Okay. So these three sages, when they came to Rishi Atri's ashram to Mata Ansuya, Sati Ansuya, they asked for a particular kind of bhiksha, and it is said that this kind of bhiksha can only be given when you give it without having your clothes on. It is a very weird kind of bhiksha. There are different kinds of bhikshas. Bhiksha of jnana, bhiksha of knowledge, bhiksha of books, bhiksha of food, all of that. So they said that okay, we are here to have food, and it is your responsibility. You are a householder. You're a householder. We are sages, and don't you fear our curse? But you will have to remove your clothes. You have to serve us without clothes. So now the interesting thing about this particular kind of bhiksha is not everyone can ask for this kind of bhiksha. The person asking for it has to be absolutely evolved, very evolved person. Now I don't know the intricacies of that, so I'm not going to, I'm just giving you the icing of that. So she realized that if these three great men are here, they must be really great beings. That's why they have the audacity to ask like that. So of course she had her third eye already open, and she realized that it is none other than Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. So she said, okay. And then she puts takes the water from the kamandalu, okay, from the vessel, and she puts that water, sprinkles that water droplets onto three of them, and says that if there is power in my sati dharma, if I have worshipped my husband as a Parabrahma, as a supreme god, these are just three gods, supreme god, getting that? Parabrahma. If I have worshipped my husband like a supreme god, may these three beings convert into children. So all these three become infants. And now she is able to feed them. enjoy watching your mother. What is there? And now what happens is the three goddesses were very much aware that the husband will come, and of course Sati is a mere, Ansuya is a mere mortal, so she will of course fail the test. So they were very relaxed. So a long time passed. They're like, our husbands have not reached home. They asked each other, and when they meditated, all they could see their husbands is in the childlike form, infant, 1 day old, 2 day old, and so all get confused how our Shaktis cannot work like that. So finally these three connect together, and then they ask Narad Rishi, and then Narad Rishi tells them, she is Sati Ansuya. She converted them. So anyway, these three go to her ashram, even waits at her door for several hours, not just bangs, and then ask for forgiveness. And Mata Ansuya reverts these three deities back into normal, so-called regular form, and she receives the boon that she is going to have Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva as her son. All the three qualities combined in one. The Tate, the one that we worship, the violet flame that we call. Right? So it is said that Mata Ansuya gave birth to 3 sons. Okay, having the three qualities of each of the deity. So one was Chandradev, who because of some curse had to reincarnate as a human, another story. Another was Durvasa Rishi, with the qualities of Lord Shiva. And the third one was Datta, with the qualities of Lord Vishnu. Now, there's another story about why the three qualities were combined and given to Dattatreya. The two brothers, Chandra and Durvasa, they gave up their so-called divine qualities to Datta. So all the three were combined to Dattatreya. Now I have forgotten why I was telling the story. Tell me. Anyone travel to the
Harmony. In the concept of harmony. Harmony. You were talking about harmony before that.
As Mata Ansuya was in a state of harmony, she was more enlightened from Shiv, Parvati ji and the other three goddess. This is how the story
I was
started.
trying to explain the concept of harmony, but after that,
Then you started telling story of Mata Ansuya. How much is the importance of harmony? Without being in a meditative state, as she served her husband and doing the household.
yes.
Yeah.
So she was in harmony. She was in absolute harmony state. She was doing her household chores, serving her husband, doing things, grooming, washing, whatever, cooking. Yet she was able to be in that divine state. So harmony doesn't mean you exclude anything. Yes, now I remember why I used it. In the tantric tradition, you are taught that you are God and worship yourself. Start from there, which is very blasphemous to many people. You know, so that's what Mata Ansuya was doing. She was worshipping her husband as a god, and that's why she had tremendous divine power. And she is known even as the mother of the three, the three ultimate granddads, so to speak. So that's the importance of harmony. The love, wisdom and power that has to be in harmony. So you do not exclude anything. If you stop your child from going outside and meeting people, will your child learn? No. You might know that the child might go out and play in sand, play, maybe have children, maybe connect with children, play with children who use maybe nasty words casually and you don't want them to mix them. But will your child grow like that? Yes or no? Will your child learn to swim if the child doesn't go to the water? Yes or no?
No.
We might always want to protect the child, but that is against the immunity of the child anyway. Physical, psychological, spiritual, emotional, mental immunity. So your child needs to be exposed. And in the same manner, I the soul, you the soul, we need to be exposed to all kinds of frequencies. So that means people who are very good to us, people who are not so good to us, situations that are good to us, situations that are not good to us. That's how we achieve harmony. Hello? Harmony is not about just detoxing and being on the positive side, so to speak. Harmony is about using the negative, using the positive. Police department, it has to be in harmony. Army department has to be in harmony. If there's a terrorist, shoot, hit, make them unconscious. Harmony. They're using the so-called negative force, but in harmony, for the sake of society. If they go around, I don't hit people, I am a follower of absolute non-violence, with all due respect, will that happen? It won't happen like that. The soul needs to use the energies that results in harmony. That's what we call as constructive destruction. Hello? Constructive destruction, right? Now the point is, before we go further, let's talk a bit about, can we achieve absolute non-violence in life? Can we? Yes, no?
No.
Can we achieve absolute non-violence in life? No?
Absolutely. No.
Only if we are detached, like we have to be detached from whatever is happening, then we can achieve.
Yes. When you read the Devi Bhagavatam, there are instances where the Devi is getting very angry and having red eyes and killing the demon and all that. But what is the intention behind that? So that this being gets the salvation. if you study Ramayana, Lord Ram is not getting very angry and not throwing verbal abuse at Ravan. You did this, you took my wife, nothing like that. And his respect as well. South Indian Ramayana even says that he even went again for 2 more years of penance. Because Ravan was a bhakt and he had to do that. So he did not have that hatred. He did not have that so-called small a anger. So he was able to achieve harmony. Hello? When you use the scissor, you need to use the 2 sides of the scissor. That's how you can cut and trim. Right? So that's what harmony is. Being able to use all the forces of nature. Being able to use, please repeat together. Harmony is being able to use all the forces of nature to facilitate harmony in the universe and harmony in myself. Right? Hello? So that's harmony. Now I need to remember why did we even start about harmony. Anyone remembers?
Yin and yang.
Yes, yin and yang.
To heal yin and yang, we reach harmony with them.
When the yin and yang are in harmony and balance, that's where the magic happens. That's where the celebration of Shivratri happens. Okay? And there was a very interesting insight I was sharing in my paid workshops, but I will also record it here. Being a couple is more like you are 99, the other person is also 99. That one is like a football. So one kicks the one, okay, you play 100 for now. But you also make sure you're not keeping it all the time, you throw it back. Now you keep the 100. That's where the couple harmony happens. For your confirmation, I'm not married at this point of recording. Just the experience of counseling. Right? So that's the harmony. So in the same manner, the inner marriage is also there. Inner man, inner feminine. The one ball of power. Okay, you want to be more compassionate with this person, you want to give benefit of doubt to this person, okay, you give it. I'm not going to put logic behind it. And then sometimes, okay, you want to put logic behind it, you want to analyze this person in the past, their patterns and how they have been treating you instead of how close they are to you or how long you two are knowing each other. Okay, use logic. Now take the decision from logic. So that football game also has to happen within. Okay. So if you imagine it's like there's a ball and then there's a gong, there's another gong. So one gong is male, one gong is female. This ball is power. Ting, 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 right? Hello? So that's MahaShivRatri. So when there's harmony, what you will get?
Tal.
Tal, rhythm, and
Joy of life.
joy of life and joy of death as well, and flow and power and
impress others.
power to influence the universe, power to co-create your own life rather than thinking that God has written my fate like this only, and compassion, bliss, and
flow of compassion non-stop.
and
Perfect balance.
Liberation.
yes, Shri Ganesha. Shri Ganesha is known to be what? The one who removes obstacles, Vignaharta. So you develop the Vignaharta quality. You have the birth of Lord Ganesha within you. Now what is Lord Ganesha? Wisdom. If you look at the elephant head, is it possible that with the elephant head you can walk? That's not possible. Right? It's very symbolic. He represents the Kundalini, activated Kundalini. Right? So when you have rhythm and harmony, what you will have is the activated Kundalini. In the yogic tradition, root chakra is shown with 4 petals and there is an animal represented to it, and that is the elephant. Right? So when you have tal, not only outside but also within, you're not just doing Anulom Vilom here for half an hour and then next 1 hour you are scolding your house help all the time and bitching about your neighbors all the time. Right? That won't create harmony. Right? So when you're in harmony in your man, kaya, vachan, That is mind, body, and words. When you are in harmony like that, you will have the activation of Kundalini, and you will realize that I am not this body, this limited body. I am the child of Ma Parvati and Lord Shiva. I can do so many things. I am a divine being.
Absolute freedom.
You have absolute freedom. I can create the life I want to. I can even remove the obstacles of others. I am a divine being. I am a divine being. Then you realize that when you have the activated Kundalini, a lot of people come to us and say, give us the tools of Kundalini activation. This is the tool. Just come into harmony. You will automatically have activated Kundalini. And when you have automated activated Kundalini, you realize I am Ganesha. I am the Vignaharta. I am the one who can solve all of my problems. You wake up to that. I am the one who is creating my reality. Hello? Right? That is Ganesha. I am the one who is creating my reality. Oh, this thought pattern created this. Okay, let me rechange it. Lord Ganesha is also shown with usually writing, wisdom and knowledge. So now you have wisdom and knowledge. Oh, this particular thought pattern is creating this reality. So now you start changing those thought patterns with affirmations or journaling, whatever. Right? So you have Lord Ganesha, you have MahaShivRatri, all of that happening within you, all the possibility within you. And now there's one more thing that is also shown. All the demigods, what are the demigods? These are not absolutely divinities. These are beings with maybe several thousands of years of life. And all this life they have a lot of youth and a lot of whatever material pleasures you can ever imagine. So what is shown that these are worshipping Ganesha. These are worshipping Lord Shiva. These are worshipping Ma Parvati. So imagine, once you have this harmony and activated Kundalini, what will happen? You can command the elements. You can command the elements. The rain is falling. Okay, stop. Rain will stop. Okay, death. Someone might be dying. Okay, angels of death, please wait. Let this person. There was a great being called as Barfani Baba. Okay, he was, I think, 300 years old at least, and I had the opportunity to have darshan. And at the time, his body was very weak and state. He did the Kayakalpa, I think, twice or thrice in Himalayas. So a lot of people say that this is fake, but actually there was one more saint before him. Devra Baba. Devra Baba was somewhere in Allahabad, right? He didn't used to come down, and big influential political families for at least 4 to 5 generations were devotee of him. So you can attest to his authenticity. So in the similar manner, Barfani Baba had this kind of authenticity, several families. So there's also Barfani Ashram in Bilaspur. That's where I had this darshan. So one of the devotees shared about an incident. There was a marriage in the home. Barfani Baba was also invited. And not just invited, but as a family member was staying there in the marriage home. In the home the marriage was happening. So one of the cousins of the bride, she died. Okay, and there were 3-4 more days for the entire ritual of the marriage. So this girl suddenly died, this cousin of the bride. Now death in a auspicious place like that, people usually think that we must postpone marriage or whatever, and it's in the family of the girl. So Barfani Baba, he took permission from Mahavtar Babaji. He used to be in touch with Mahavtar Babaji. You all know Mahavtar Babaji? Right? So, yes, no, we all know. That's a great statement with all the humility. We know. So, he took permission from him and he said, he asked Mahavtar Babaji, should I do a miracle here or not? Even great saints like that take permission. They have an upline there. They can't just do it, even when they have a siddhi. So Mahavtar Babaji said, okay, you do it. So I think maybe chanted some mantras or maybe just put his hand like that on the girl's body, and the girl was revived. She was brought back to life. Okay, and Barfani Baba said that her time had come, but I did not want that this home where the marriage is happening, there should be anything inauspicious at my bhakt's place, at my devotee's place. So that's why I revived her. Marriage thing was done, the bride was seen off. Maybe after 2 or 3 days, this girl was revived, dead again. And then people again ask, why can't you just keep her like that? She was also young. And he said, it was her time. I didn't want to interfere with the karma. But because I didn't want that inauspiciousness to happen like that, so you become like that. If you read the Holy Bible or many of the great saints, they talk about the revival. They talk about the revival of a small child with your uncle's Sant Kavana. Please share the story.
I don't know exactly.
It was
Just give us the
yeah.
gist of it.
There was some satsang, this weekly gathering happening, and there was a lady who just came with a dead child. She brought him the child in the arms and she asked him to revive. And he just touched the child and that child was revived.
No, I think this is a different story, right?
Yeah, she
did not tell him.
did
that
not tell
it's a-
him
Not tell
that
him.
By
the baby is
The
dead.
baby is dead.
Ah.
She just said, give his blessings to the baby.
Ah.
That's it.
He thought that
And
he's
the
sleeping.
moment, but
When
knew,
he
like-
saw the baby, he was shocked. She is dead. Then he asked the prayer to the universe and God and gave him glory.
To revive the prana.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, these beings are like Ganesha. They can even change your fate. Remove obstacles, okay? So, it's not that they only can do it. Once we find that inner harmony, once we are in harmony, once we have the completely activated safely, properly, we are able to step into this knowingness, this remembrance that I am, please affirm together, that I am a child of God. I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am not the emotions, I am not the desires, I am not my past, I am not my future, I am eternal, I am timeless, I am divine, I am infinite. So something within you clicks once you are forming that. Sparks. So that's the essence of MahaShivRatri, why we celebrate it, and what can happen if we actually properly celebrate it within. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everything. Marriage the right time. Procession is going on.
Yeah, even the procession is going on, and that's the procession of Lord Shiva only, I guess.
Lord Shiva पे गयो.
Lord Shiva's procession is being done.
Yeah, my maid took an off today because they were planning that marriage since morning. She stays in that slum area.
Yeah.
So they were planning that and she is participating.
Right time this is.
Right time this is.
Yeah.
पूरी भाभी हमने शादी करा रहे हैं.
So how much they celebrate now?
Shiv and Parvati